So I just wanted to make a quick update on the whole long COVID situation. If you're not aware, I was diagnosed with long COVID. I've made a previous video about it. If you haven't seen the previous video yet, I'll link it down below. And then you can go watch that and then come back and watch this. So yeah, I got COVID back in March and how long's it been now? 10 months. So yeah, I'll give you guys an update. I kind of hate making videos like this, but I know most of my subscribers are people that I know anyway, so they're not going to just unsub because of it. Yeah, and now that the UK's hit 100,000 deaths and has the highest death rate in the world, so we have done the worst job in the world at tackling the coronavirus. There's going to be a lot of people in the UK with long COVID. So apparently there's more people with long COVID than there is that have actually died of coronavirus. So that's a lot of people that are going to be suffering and out of work and losing their businesses and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd give some tips because luckily I'm starting to feel way better, thank God, at long last. I'm not 100% cured yet. There's still a couple of minor little things like I still have a little bit of fatigue, especially in the mornings. I'm quite struggling to wake up and stuff. And I still get chest pain, but not as frequently and not as painful. So I get like mild chest pains now every few days, whereas before it was like constant crushing, agonizing pain. So the first thing I did, which was really important, was I received one email from an occupational therapist, and that was my only aftercare. And the advice that I was giving from the occupational therapist was to go out and exercise every single day. Now that was a terrible idea. It was a terrible idea because it made me relapse. So on days where I would feel a little bit better, it would be fine. But on days where I didn't feel like going out, I was told to still go out and exercise. And it would make me relapse over and over again to the point that it would never leave. I had a point for maybe 2 weeks where I felt better, where I went out for a bike ride to Aboyne and back. Yeah, that made me relapse for weeks as well. So yeah, so I decided to ignore that advice because obviously the NHS don't really know that much about the coronavirus. They're still learning. So it made me think that perhaps their advice wasn't that great yet. So I decided to just do what I could when I could. And by doing what I could when I could and resting when I didn't feel great, I was able to feel way better and make a much better recovery. Yeah. It's been working. So yeah, so basically I would go out days when I felt like I could and rest days when I felt terrible, and that's had the best impact yet by a mile. I also obviously took lots of vitamins, which are hiding behind my cactus. So I took a bunch of multivitamins, B12, vitamin D, of course, cod liver oil tablets, and these things here, folic acid. Now, I started to recover when I threw these into the mix of my vitamins as well. So the folic acid, once I added that, I started to feel much better. I have no idea why. I just read somewhere somebody was taking these and it helped them. So folic acid, 400 grams, high strength from Simply Supplements. I also was trying this stuff as well, which is like a detox spray, which I was hitting this pretty hard as well when I started to recover. It's Advanced TRS, Toxin and Contaminant Removal Support. It's meant to take all the metals and stuff out of your body. I think it was probably more the folic acid that helped, to be honest though. So once I started to feel much better, I got a dog who is downstairs named Duke. But Duke's quite an energetic dog and he's like 2 hours of exercise per day minimum. So within a week I was able to kind of build up to that, and yeah, that's quite amazing. That's a huge transformation. So that's helped a lot as well with getting my weight back to normal and kind of getting into a routine and stuff. And I feel like getting into a routine is key to recovery as well, once you feel up to it, you know? Yeah, so walking Duke twice every day has helped loads. All my symptoms have pretty much dropped off, apart from mild chest pains now and again, and now a little bit of fatigue in the mornings. I've got a few coffee machines, so I'm thinking I'll put one next to my bedside cabinet, and that should help quite a bit. So yeah, things are looking great. I did blood tests with a nurse at my new doctor's hospital. So my doctor phoned back with the results. Now the doctor phoned and she said, can I just double check how often you drink? And I was like, I think in the last year I've drank alcohol 5 times, maximum 5 times. And then she looked at her notes and she said, oh wait, hold on, it says here that you're obese. Obese! She was like, judging by your height and your weight, you're obese. And I was like, what? And then, yeah, I never met her because I just moved here and it was a telephone appointment. I met the nurse And then she was like, oh yeah, I spoke to the nurse, and the nurse said that you look quite skinny, but you have an extremely large belly. I think she was trying to say I'm skinny fat, right? So I was like,
he's a bit chungus, he's a bit chunky boy, such a big goodness, you're so overjoyed.
Triggered. Nah, actually, what I said was, well, yeah, I've barely been able to walk for 9 months, so, you know, I put on quite a bit of weight in that last 9 months. I didn't catch COVID because I was fat. I caught COVID and then I got fat, you know? And there's this weird thing, because basically the doctor was saying, oh yeah, there's a trend where like people that are obese and they're old are catching COVID. But from what I found by looking at the internet, is a lot of people that are long COVID sufferers are actually really active like myself. They do a lot of cycling, mountain biking, hiking and stuff like what I do. You know, there's a lot of athletes with long COVID. So yeah, it's quite bizarre, but hopefully eventually they'll realise that we're not all just big fat slobs. Although I became a big fat slob. Anyway, so I've lost quite a bit of weight since then, thank God. Thank God. With walking Duke every day, which is amazing. So yeah, so pretty much it. Do what you can when you can. And yeah, and then get a routine of building up every day. I wouldn't recommend getting a dog like what I did, because you have to want a dog to own a dog, you know? I want a dog, I love my dog. But yeah, just get into a routine and that should help. And then yeah, try the folic acid. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, because we're at the mercy of the algorithm, and likes make a huge difference. Subscribe if you want to learn more. I'm obviously gonna go back now to making videos about videography and photography and stuff. So that's what I'll start doing very, very soon. And yeah, I'll catch you there. I'm miles away from the camera. Come on, buddy, come in. So I'm trying to entice Duke to come into the studio to get him on camera, and he point blank refuses to come in here. Like, he will not come in here, which is really weird because he's basically like my shadow that follows me everywhere. But he will not come in the studio. It's kind of spooky, man. Kind of spooky.